What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel. Today, I'm not joined by any special guest. I'm doing a video on my own about my own team. Many of you have requested it in the comments down below, so I thought, why not? Let's run through my team at the moment. I've broken into the top 100k, so I thought it was probably just about worthwhile and some people would want to watch. And yeah, I'm going to run through my plans for the upcoming game week, talk a little bit about my season so far, and yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I got my team from Gameweek 21 up on screen. It was a good week, to be fair. I actually misplayed. I transferred Salah out for Bowen early in the week because I needed the exact money to go from Darwin to Haaland. Yeah, don't make early transfers. I shouldn't have done it. Probably one of my few mistakes this season, to be fair. I think I played pretty well overall, but yeah, that definitely was a big error from me. Got kind of lucky though, I guess. I mean, Darwin, who is a player that I wanted to get rid of, doing really well. Obviously, the Saka blank, and that's not ideal when it was between him and Palmer, but Gabriel kind of saved my game week. Estepinian as well came in for Trent, which again, probably not the best move, given that Trent may well be back soon. Obviously not sure about that, but at the very least, he did get 8 points. And I kind of do feel like over the next 4 or 5 game weeks, before we get to the double in 25 and the blank in 26, it is worth remembering, and this sounds a little bit silly, but there are 4 game weeks between now and then. That's a lot of points potential. Don't just forget about players that might not double in 25 or blank in 26 just because of that. There are 4 game weeks to go where they could get a lot of points. So that would be my kind of advice if I'm worthy of giving any. But yeah, another good green arrow. I mean, quite lucky to get there really with a -4 that I didn't really need to do. But looking at my season history overall so far, it wasn't going that well, to be fair, until the wildcard in Game Week 8 when it did, you know, turn a little bit better. This actually hasn't updated yet, Game Week 21. Obviously, that trends up towards 90k where I'm at the moment. But overall, it's going pretty well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into my thoughts for the upcoming game week. I mean, there are loads of dilemmas here. I want to start off, though, with captaincy. Okay, so here is the team for Game Week 22 as it stands. And according to Fantasy Football Hub's predicted points, Bowen should be my captain. He's predicted to score 6.2. And actually, he is the player that's predicted to score the most points across the next game week. I think that's because, you know, a lot of the premiums are obviously injured or away, and there are no real amazing standout fixtures this week, which makes captaincy really interesting. I mean, personally, I'm going to be probably on Foden unless we get concrete Haaland news that he's going to play a significant amount of minutes in the Burnley game. In that case, yeah, I'll just transfer him in. I've got enough money to go from Solanke to Haaland, and that also leaves enough for Salah back, for Saka down the line. But I think you've got to attack that City fixture. It's a shame, to be honest, that I've only got one City player. I think that is the standout fixture of the week. And if Haaland is confirmed out, I think Alvarez is the best option. Remember that he's on penalties, and it's going to be a big worry for me not having him. And yeah, I'll probably be behind the sofa for that one. I will say, though, that Darwin is a pretty good backup. Remember that he does have penalties, and yeah, we'll be playing probably number 9 in Haaland's absence. And that's going to be a scary one as a non-owner. Darwin, though, to be fair, has been good to me. Like, respect on his name, because I have despised owning him for a lot of this season, but the last few weeks he's come good, and now he's in place for 25, which is nice. Now, in terms of benching dilemmas, I mean, this one is just so tough. Who would you bench? Get in the comments down below. If you had my team, who are you benching? I know a lot of you are going to be in similar positions. Right now, I'm leaning towards benching Gordon. We've seen with Palmer, right? He can have a kind of average game, statistically speaking, but gets a penalty and then there's your haul. We saw it against Fulham in the last game week. Didn't really get involved too much in terms of expected numbers. I think it was at, 0.27 or something, pretty low for him, but gets a penalty and there's 10 points. And obviously he's very, very good at penalties and is definitely still on them for Chelsea. Whereas Gordon away at Villa, I mean, yeah, a great goal last game week, but we know Newcastle struggles away. We know Gordon especially doesn't do that well on the road, and Villa are very good at home. I do feel like I'd play Palmer over Gordon, and I would also play Solanke. These two on penalties is the difference maker for me, and that's why I'm probably going to, at this stage, bench Gordon. In terms of my transfer, I've actually only got one, so I'm leaning towards rolling. Now, obviously, that depends on Haaland news. If Haaland is fit, yeah, I'll go for him and probably captain him as well. But with the game weeks that we have to come, I think just if you can, rolling, having 2 for 23, 24, and especially 25 is going to be massive. I'll have a look at the upcoming game weeks now and talk about my potential plans. 23, right, looks okay, I would say. the fixtures are a little bit better. Obviously, we're still going to be waiting here on Haaland news, but say that he is back in this week, it's actually quite a challenging dilemma as to who to sell, really. Solanke obviously is a better fixture than Darwin, but I'm going to want Darwin for 25. So it probably would be Solanke to make way. It could also be Watkins. It really depends. I mean, Watkins has not impressed recently, and Solanke's fixtures are still decent. But realistically, it probably would be Solanke and then Haaland in. That would then leave me with one rolling transfer that I'm going to maintain. Obviously dependent, but Haaland would probably then have my captaincy as well. Getting into 24 now, Liverpool have a plum fixture. So Darwin, of course, comes back into the side. Again, though, more benching headaches, and I've got a transfer that I'd like to make. Now, this depends a lot on Salah. If Salah looks good for 24, which, to be honest, I don't think he will be fit for that game right now, I will have to get Salah in, probably for Saka, well, only for Saka, as that's the only way I can afford it. But if he's not fit, then I'll be really tempted to get rid of Bowen this week. Get rid of Bowen, bring in Jota in 24, or Diogo as he's for some reason called on FPL and therefore on Fantasy Football Hub. And then that'll be the team. So that means that going into 25 the next week, I'd be looking at getting rid of Saka and then bringing in Salah, leaving me with a triple up in Liverpool's attack, which is very, very aggressive. No Trent, but that kind of has been the plan the whole way through. I sold Trent last game week 21, for a Estupinian, and I knew it was very, very unlikely I'd be able to get him back, given this current structure. You can see that money in the bank is tight here. But I feel like I don't mind attacking this with 3 Liverpool players. I'd then have an extra transfer as well, which I'd probably do Pedro Porro out for Kyle Walker, and that would be my team. And I think that's a very good team for attacking the doubles in 25. I mean, 6 doublers. The rest are pretty good as well. Palmer there for cover. Obviously a bad fixture, City away, but nonetheless, a pretty good player to have off the bench. In terms of planning for 25, those are my thoughts. And I think that is the best way to attack that game week. The problem with that is when we get to 26, which is too far in the future, the team, depending on blanks and postponements, probably will be in a little bit of strife. However, I don't mind taking hits to get rid of a Jota, a Darwin, maybe even both, to get other players in that do play that week. I feel like it's worth bringing these players in for that double. But if Salah is back, Diaz fit, Gakpo fit, Darwin fit, Jota fit, their minutes probably going to be pretty shared anyway, so they might not be the worst sells. And I don't mind doing it for a hit, taking the points from 25 and then just saying, yeah, thanks lads, see you later. So there we go. Those are my thoughts for the upcoming game weeks and my general planning in order to get Liverpool and City players in for 25. Let me know down below. Do you think triple Liverpool attack is too aggressive? I kind of feel like having 6 from City and Liverpool in a double is good. No Trent is a shame, and that'll be no Liverpool defence as well. So obviously I'll be hoping for clean sheet wipeouts. But having triple Liverpool for those fixtures, that's going to be a lot of fun, surely. Now, my recommended transfer this week is actually not to bank, which is kind of what I'd expected. If you don't know what I'm looking at here, guys, this is Fantasy Football Hub's AI recommended transfers. If you want to do the same for your team, completely personalized, link to do so is down below to sign up. The recommended transfer is actually to sell the sells for Walker. I guess my theory there is that I don't want to invest that much money into the defense. I'd rather save that money, as you saw, for the likes of Haaland and Salah and Jota and players like that. And I don't really think there's much wrong with selling Porro in 24 or 25 either. I mean, Walker has a great fixture in 24, and then Porro will probably 95% will blank in 26. So 3 fixtures for Walker versus 1 for Porro across those 2 game weeks. I don't mind that. So I'm kind of loath to do that. The alternative is to bank. And I think also just with the lack of information that we currently have, it is probably sensible to bank. It's probably what I should have done last week. I should have tried to roll, or at least not taking a hit, which is what I ended up doing. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this, to be honest. And I think I am likely to bank. So there we go. Those are my thoughts for my team over the next few game weeks. Let me know what you think of this video. A little bit off the cuff. Just thought I'd do it. Obviously having a decent season. Nothing crazy, but, you know, I do see the comments and some of you are saying, yeah, it's nice having the guests on and seeing what they're doing, but my rank's pretty decent as well. What are you doing? So I thought I'd give you this. This might not be regular. It doesn't have to be weekly. Might just be a check-in every month or so, every few game weeks. But yeah, comment down below if you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'll do it more often. If you didn't, then I won't. It's as simple as that.